Time to go to the grocery store. So even though I hate where I live, there's a grocery store that's like walking distance from the apartment. Get some steps in, make this easy, just make it so easy. Well, that was easy. So we are in April. It is Q2. By that I mean it's the second quarter of 2023. This is actually my second time filming filming this video. I actually did a version yesterday, and yesterday was the men's basketball teams played, their Final Four games yesterday. As a Miami Hurricane, I was rooting for the Canes. They couldn't pull out the win, but that's okay. They still made it to the Final Four, and very, very proud of them. I just mentioned that because yesterday when I made my video, I had all these references to quarters and yeah, college basketball games are divided in halves, not quarters. So so there's that. But the other reason, the real reason why I am refilming this video is because somewhere along the way, I adjusted the settings on my camera and started filming in the incorrect frame rate. So it's like half of what I shot is in your standard 24 frames per second. That's what I like. That's what I like to shoot at. And then I hit something and it went down to 15 frames per second. So it's like half of the footage just looks absolutely crazy and won't match up. So yeah, here I am filming this again. My Q2 video. But it's fine. It's all good. We learn from our mistakes. I'm certainly going to check my settings before I really shoot, because so yeah, first let me just give y'all an update. The update is I haven't been doing anything. I've written about 3 pages on this script that I've been working on. 3 pages within the past 2 months. And it's just one of those things. It's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it's been such a chore to write this particular script. I mean, I know I've been saying, this is just a practice script and nobody will ever read it. I'm just doing it to get this story out of my head so that I can free up space for other ideas, other stories. And it's not like I don't know where the story's headed or what's going on, because this story is completely plotted out. It's completely outlined. I know exactly where it's supposed to go, what the characters are supposed to do, and even say it's all here, but it's also on paper. I've outlined it, actually outlined it on paper. So it's I'm following the outline, but it really just has been difficult. And, I'm proud of the 3 pages that I wrote, but at the same time, why did it take 60 days to crank out 3 pages? That's not me. And so I don't know if I'm going to just abandon this script because, like I said, no one's going to read it. I'm never going to show this to anyone, but I still want to get this story out. That's some shit I gotta figure out. I also recently hung out with my buddy Jay Friedman. Jay is also a screenwriter. Thing about Jay, though, is that he's much more successful than I am. And, he really knows the industry. He's been in this game for a very long time. So, we met up for drinks and, we talked, we had a great time. And he offered to read, one of my scripts. He's just like, yeah, send me something. So I decided to send him Potter's Field. And even though I said, I'm putting Potter's Field to the side, I'm not working on it right now. I'm gonna let it sit in the drawer and just like rest. The reason I sent that to him is because that's the script that has gotten me the most attention, I would say, so far. Like, it did well in Nickel, and, it got responses from managers and producers when I was querying. And as a matter of fact, it's the script that got my former manager interested in me. So, I gave him Potter's Field, and my only request was, I gave him no time limit. I'm just like, look, I appreciate you offering to read something. Here it is. Get to it when you get to it. Like, I'm not expecting you to get to this anytime soon because, I know you have a life. Reading a screenplay, especially like a feature-length screenplay, is a commitment. And, it's just, I'm not, no pressure. Like, I'm not going to hound you for this or whatever. But the only thing that I ask is that you be honest with me. Give me your honest assessment. Give me some real feedback. Don't blow smoke up my ass. Don't be like, oh man, this is great, or like whatever. Like, give it to me straight. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But just give it to me straight. So it took, a couple of weeks, but he got back to me. And I'm going to tell y'all, Jay gave it to me straight. Like, one of the first things he said to me was, the reason he finished reading it was because of our friendship. He told me that he struggled to finish it. And I was like, oh, okay. And, that's honestly the first time that I've heard, anyone say that. Like, they struggled to finish it. But he went on to tell me why. And, he did kind of qualify things, by saying he believes I can write. He's just like, it's there. The talent is there. You can clearly write, which is what I've heard from everyone. What he said for him, the issue with my script, with Potter's Field, and I have to imagine this is with everything else that I write, but he said that his issue was not with the format of the script, but the form of the script. And, he described this in different ways. He mentioned screenwriters whom I love, like Shane Black, for instance. He actually knows Shane Black and used Shane as an example. He's just like, if you've read a Shane Black script, you notice that it moves. It's very active, and you can tell he hits the return key often. Short bursts, his sentences are like, short. He writes, the paragraphs are in short bursts. He hits return often, keeps the script moving. And one of the things that Jay said about my script was that it doesn't keep moving. And, I'm thinking, it doesn't? I always felt that I've written, fast-paced scripts, like whatever. Potter's Field is only 95 pages. And he was even just like, yeah, there's no reason why this 95-page script should be a chore to get through. And in talking about, like, his issue with the form of my script, what he essentially was saying was that I'm writing too much. Yeah, sure, I'm doing the job of the screenwriter, but I'm also, like, doing the job of the director and of the actors and of the production designer and of the cinematographer and of the sound people and of the music supervisor and of. It's like I'm writing everything that I see and hear. And that's what I was always taught. That's what I've always read in screenwriting books. That's what I've always, in discussions with other writers, when I took classes on screenwriting in college, I was always taught, write what you see. And I like the way Jay broke this down for me. He's just like, yeah, you're writing what you see. Well, I'm going to use his example. He was like, think of a broken VCR, or if you want to say like a DVD or Blu-ray player. He was like, think of like a broken VCR. You're watching a movie on this VCR. You can't hit pause. You can only write what you see. So you got to write fast. You got to keep it moving. You don't have time to describe like the lush jungle or the rotting wood chairs or whatever. Write what you see. He's like, my issue is that it's like I'm hitting pause on the VCR and I'm describing everything that's on screen. It's just like, that's what makes it a tough read. Because for him, it was taking him out of the story. When I sit and I describe, the surrounding woods or the building or the benches people sit on or whatever, it's just too much. And it takes his mind off of the story and off of the characters. And I get that. I totally get that. And I understand that. And after our conversation, I went back and I looked at a draft of Potter's Field, and I was like, okay, I see what he's talking about. I don't disagree with him at all. But like, I'm a writer. I've written books, and certainly when it comes to like writing books, writing novels, I feel you want to be as descriptive as possible. I mean, you have that ability, you have that leeway. Like you can write whatever the fuck you want in a novel. You can go as deep as you want into a character's psyche. You can describe everything that's around them, what's going on. You can do whatever you want to do. But with the screenplay, you got to keep it moving. It's the blueprint for a motion picture, a moving picture. So got to keep things moving. So with any, feedback and advice, I'm taking what seems, sensible and right to me. And I think I will, in the future, give Potter's Field another pass to try to keep things moving, right? To keep things active, to not get so bogged down in the details, in the minutia of the world that I'm writing about. I'm not going to do that anytime soon, though. Like I said, Potter's Field is still just going to sit for a minute. But I do have other scripts. I've got my romantic comedy. I've got another action comedy that I totally forgot about. And I happen to be going through my stack of scripts, and I was like, oh yeah, I do have this script here. So that's another one. I'm going to take a look at those two scripts and, see where I can cut, rewrite, make things more active in those scripts. And this is something that I'm going to be conscious of moving forward when working on my future scripts. So shout out to Jay. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I think that's good feedback. I receive. Aside from that, what else? People have been hitting me up, like in the comments, or they've been hitting me on Instagram or Twitter. They've been asking me things like, have I entered certain contests or tried certain routes to get my scripts in front of people? And just the answer to all that is no. No, I have not. As I like the past couple of months, I've been pretty lazy. I've been pretty lazy and pretty unmotivated, despite my trying to be more motivated and be more active. I really just haven't been doing shit. So no contests, no feedback services, no pitch services. I haven't tried anything. I haven't done anything. Nothing. I have done nothing. Someone even asked if I reached out to my buddy who's the assistant to the producer that said they wanted to read Potter's Field. And no, I haven't reached out to him. I still haven't reached out to him. But we've begun Q2, second quarter of 2023. I'm going to try to get up off my ass and just do more shit, write more, and reach out more, and just do more. The year so far has just been awful. It's just been terrible. Some of it has to do with the weather. Y'all know that I hate the rain, and it's been raining a hell of a whole lot out here. Climate change. But just also, I just have not been feeling it. I haven't been feeling any of this. One of my social media peeps, she posted like, has everyone been feeling this way about the industry? She's an actress, but we're all trying to break into the same industry and do the same thing. And I responded, yeah, it feels like, we're all quiet quitting the industry. You're quiet quitting our dreams, our goals. She's like, yeah, that's the perfect way of putting it. So Q2, second quarter, I vow to stop quiet quitting and to just be more active and be more active. I know I said be more active and be more active, but y'all know what I mean. Finally, a new Film Courage video dropped over the weekend. I was shocked. Shout out to the good folks over at Film Courage. New video where there's a lot of and I am not happy with how I sound in that video. Very inarticulate and very just kind of like oh, yeah, but, we talk about different things. We talk about, like late bloomers, and we talk about doing other things in order to get noticed in the industry. How screenwriting may not be enough to get noticed. And I'm increasingly like believing that. Like it really is like, no, you got to get out there, you got to make your stuff, you got to collaborate with people, you got to network, you got to do what you got to do. Just like writing a great script. I mean, that's probably half of it, but 50% is not enough. You got to figure out the other 50%, whatever that is. So, yeah, 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 yeah. So that is my plan. I'll say that. That is my plan beginning this quarter of 2023. Be more active, do more shit, actually write. And I know I say that, I know I say this with every video. It's just been difficult. It's been difficult, y'all, to stay motivated, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And I feel like I'm getting there. And I appreciate y'all for coming along with me and encouraging and motivating me and keeping me accountable. I gotta say that. Every time y'all hit me up, I'm just like, damn, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So I do appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. We gonna get it. We have to. Have no other choice, right? Q2, baby.